Hello. Okay. I'm Ava Moore. For those of you who aren't watching from the links I sent out to my social media pages, it is March 30th, 2020, and it is day 17 of quarantine, and it just got extended until April 30th. It's been a lot, not gonna lie. You'd think that being at home all day, every day wouldn't be so stressful, but whenever you're immunocompromised and immunosuppressed and have people like my mom who have asthma in the house, it becomes a little bit scarier, especially because you see the impact a lot more and you feel the need to isolate a lot more, I guess, if that makes sense. So, basically what I plan to do for the next, until this is over, is do daily updates. I'll update the numbers in Louisiana, the numbers in the United States, any like big things happening in the media I fully intend on talking about. Any questions, anything like that, just let me know. I will link all of my sources or cite them either below or whenever I talk about it. I'm only using like CDC pages and the Department of Louisiana Health for my numbers and symptoms and everything like that. So, I think that's all I needed to say to introduce this thing. So, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the total cases in the United States, which is a lot, to say the least. Right now, it's 140,904, and with that, it's 2,405 total deaths. Now, that may not seem like a big number, but mind you, we've been in quarantine for like 2 weeks. And it's almost at 200,000 people. That's terrifying to think about. And it's like no one is ever, I don't want to say not ever affected by it, but no one's ever so aware of it until it directly affects them. And I think that's why we're having such a hard time stopping the spread, because it hasn't directly affected most people, at least here in Louisiana. Louisiana has had, I have my numbers, just give me a second, I'm unorganized. Louisiana alone at the moment has 4,025 cases reported with 185 deaths. So that's kind of scary, not gonna lie. We've completed 3,180 by state lab tests and 30,853 commercial tests and reported to the state. That's also just reported to the state, and you also have to think about all the people that aren't getting tested because they don't think they're at risk. So that number is, in theory and understanding, a lot higher than you would think it would be, because it is so highly contagious and it does have such a high infection rate that you don't know, like you never know. I mean, the incubation period is from 2 days to 2 weeks. That's such a broad spectrum of time. You could be going out and doing anything, anywhere, picking it up from someone who doesn't even know they have it, and then continuing to spread it to everybody you come in contact with for the next, who knows, until you realize you have it. if you ever show symptoms, I don't know, man. Something about that specifically is very scary to me. But, Rapides Parish right now, we have 44 cases and 1 death, compared to like Avoyelles, Allen, Vernon, Grant, and Natchitoches, who all have between like, averaged, I guess you could say, like 8-ish each, give or take. That's just average though. Like, Avoyelles and Allen have 14 and 11, but the rest only have like 3 or 2. So, yeah. But, you know, they're updating it every day at 12 o'clock, so I wait until they put out the update, and then I update y'all, I guess. So the big main reason I'm doing this right now is because I have to stay so isolated, and that is really hard on me mentally and emotionally, because I don't get to see anybody or go anywhere, and I get stir crazy, and it's exhausting, which sounds crazy because I'm just, excuse my 10-year-old siblings outside. I go stir crazy because all I do is sit in here, stare at the walls, and I'm exhausted, even though I just lay around all day. But like, just sitting here is just as exhausting as doing anything else, because like all you have to do is like think. I've read so many books, watched so many shows, I've watched so much Netflix, painted, drawn, wrote a little bit, anything to really like pass the time. But Mom proposed this because it's difficult, and it gives me an outlet to like, 1, participate in history, and 2, it keeps me occupied. I mean, like, I'm having to do research and take time and video, and I'd say edit, but I'm not editing these. I'm sorry. Y'all are just gonna have to deal with me pausing every once in a while to recollect my thoughts. But, yeah. So, I've talked to a couple people about what they've been doing. I know a lot of people have been doing yard work. I mean, like, a lot of people. My boyfriend's family especially has been doing a ton of yard work, but their yard looks super cool, so that's cool. I can't myself get out and do yard work because of my heart, but I have been taking care of my little indoor plants, so that's fun. I like plants. A lot of people have been taking it hard, from what I understand. We take like things like going to the grocery store for granted. Like, I never thought I'd say I want to go to Walmart. Like, I hate Walmart. Walmart is not my place, but I would do just about anything. Mom is defrosting food, so ignore the background noise. Sorry about that. How are you just gonna start the microwave again?
It says on defrost. I told you I'm in the middle of cooking.
I hate you.
Nothing I can do with it.
Okay. Anyways, but yeah, a lot of people are taking it hard. It's hard to be completely alone. It's hard to just be surrounded by the same 2-3 people, you know, day in and day out. But I mean, there's a lot of good that's come out of this. I'm not going to sit here and bash on it completely, because there is good that's come out of this. I mean, people have won. I've seen so many people getting closer to the Lord, which makes me very happy, because sometimes it just takes something so detrimental and devastating to make you realize what you need. And I wish it didn't have to come to that, but sometimes it does. not only that, I was reading about the water in Venice and how the animals are coming back and it's actually clear and you can see all the wildlife, and how the smog is cleared in the mountains in China. Like, all of that is so good. Like, so good. And it's been years since any of that's been able to happen. I mean, like, streets have been cleared. New Orleans has been, like, vacant. They got hit so hard fast, but that's because of Mardi Gras. Like, we all blended intensely. Like, people travel from everywhere to come to Mardi Gras. I personally was in Houston during Mardi Gras. I was at a concert. But if I would have been here, I would have been at all the parades. I would have been, you know, hanging out with everybody. But I was just, I mean, granted, I was at a concert. It wasn't much better, but it wasn't as blended and hectic, I guess. Anyways. But yeah, I think I already said that Trump extended it to April 30th for the stay-at-home thing. I don't like that. But if people would just stay at home in the first place, this could go by so much faster if people would just realize how serious it is and stop treating it like it's a joke. And I think we're starting to get to the point where we realize that it's not a joke, but I wish it didn't take so many people getting sick and dying and being stuck in different parts of the world, borders shut down, economy crashing, for people to realize that they just need to stay inside for the sake of others, regardless of what their health is. If not for themselves, for their family, and for other people who don't have as strong as immune systems, who aren't as young, as youthful, you know, and it sucks. It sucks bad. But there are ways to help slow it. I hate the term flatten the curve. I've heard that term like 4 million times in the past like 2.5 weeks. And I'm so tired of hearing the terms flatten the curve, but that's what needs to happen. And nothing's gonna slow down. Okay, microwave. Nothing's gonna slow down until people do start taking the precautions that need to be taken and not stockpiling toilet paper for respiratory infection. It's not intestinal. I think that's pretty funny, not gonna lie. But yeah. So this is day 1, which is also day 17 of this quarantine. I needed something to do, and I fully intend on updating you guys daily on things that I'm doing, on things that I hear other people are doing, numbers, announcements. Oh, something interesting, they moved the Olympics to next year in Tokyo, I believe that's where it's supposed to be. Yeah. They'll be from July until the beginning of August, end of July, beginning of August of next year, which is interesting to me. But, yeah. So, I think that's gonna be it for today, guys. I will definitely be more prepared tomorrow. I was kind of just trying to get baseline how this works set up today. So, I hope all of you guys have a great day and you practice basic hygiene and you practice social distancing, and by that I mean staying home, not going out and hanging out with your friends. And yeah, wash your hands. Stay safe for those around you, please. Bye, guys.